We'll call the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yes.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Could everyone please stay standing? Sorry. I'd like to acknowledge a member of our community that passed away, Miss Loretta Brownlee. She had an incredible impact on the entire community of Mount Clemens, but especially the school community. And of course, she's the reason why we were able to get the funding for Carnes Community Center through David Bonnier's office, Congressman Bonnier. So we have a debt of gratitude for Miss Brownlee, and so I know that we wish her family and send all of our condolences to them. So if we could have a moment of silence. Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Calhoun.
Here.
Dempsey.
Here.
Fournier.
Here.
Crop.
Here.
McGarity.
Here.
Rick.
Here.
York.
Here.
Okay, we will move on to announcements, acknowledgments, communications, and reports. Robbie, can you hear me okay? Okay. Okay, we have a proclamation. And do we have anyone here from the Pride organization, Macomb Pride? Okay, then I will just stay seated. Whereas the City of Mount Clemens cherishes the value and dignity of each person and appreciates the importance of equality and freedom. And whereas all are welcome in the City of Mount Clemens to live, work, play, and every family in any shape deserves a place to call home where they feel safe, happy, and supported by friends and neighbors. And whereas the City of Mount Clemens denounces prejudice and unfair discrimination based on age, gender identity, gender expression, race, color, religion, marital status, national origin, sexual orientation, or physical attributes as an affront to our fundamental principles. And whereas Pride Month began in June of 1969, on the one-year anniversary of the Stonewall Uprising in New York City after the LGBTQ plus and allied friends rose up and fought against the constant police harassment and discriminatory laws that have since been declared unconstitutional. And whereas the City of Mount Clemens appreciates the cultural, civic, and economic contributions of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, plus LGBTQ plus community, which strengthens our social welfare. And whereas it is imperative that young people in our community, regardless of sexual orientation, gender identity, and expression, feel valued, safe, empowered, and supported by their peers and community leaders. And whereas, despite being marginalized, LGBTQ plus people continue to celebrate authenticity, acceptance, and love. Now therefore be it resolved, the members of the City Commission declare the month of June 2025 as LGBTQ plus Pride Month in the City of Mount Clemens, and urge residents to recognize the contributions made by members of the LGBTQ plus community and to actively promote the principles of equality, liberty, and justice. Does anyone else have any further announcements, acknowledgments, communications, and reports? Okay, we'll move on to adoption of the agenda. Are there any questions or comments about the agenda? Okay, hearing none, call the roll, please.
Calhoun.
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Fournier.
Yes.
Crop.
Yes.
McGarity.
Yes.
Rick.
Yes.
York.
Yes.
Okay, this is the portion of the meeting that we invite the public to address the commission. We ask that you come to the microphone, you give us your full name, your residential address, and you abide by our 3-minute rule. If you would like to address the commission at this time, we welcome you to the microphone.
Deshaun O'Neill, 825 Clinton River Drive. Miss Mayor, you haven't gotten back with me what we talked about. When I came here every other month, you haven't said nothing, and I keep my eyes focused on you and him, because at the end of the day, it's about you and him. They just a committee. I told you what the City of Mount Clemens did to me. Evidence right here. When I come back next meeting, I will be showing the public the pictures. I'm not going anywhere. Him right there in the blue shirt, Leonard Bertrand. Just like I told you before, you keep thinking I'm playing. This is not a joke. Them people fired me for no reason. They wrote me up 4 or 5 different occasions within a 3-month period. You think I'm going somewhere. I'm not going anywhere. He allowed it. Your constituent. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to come here every time y'all have a meeting. I want the public to know how y'all feel about y'all employees. The union didn't do nothing. The same union that's supposed to represent me, I had to fight with them when you wasn't mayor at the time. When they gave the fire department and Dollar Ride extra money during the pandemic, and they didn't give the other 3 departments any money, they gave us 16 hours of personal time and told us to shut up. I'm the one said something. If I hadn't said anything, we wouldn't have got anything. They financially gave them money during the pandemic and then give the other 3 departments, and we in the same entity. How is that? Why would you allow that? That's not right, man. And I'm gonna keep coming, and I'm gonna keep coming. And like I say, this is my employee file. This says my Clemens employee file. This is all what I have. This is what I got, all my evidence, because the union didn't help me. And next time I come, it's gonna be with those videos and those pictures of him allowing them to dump them tires illegally. And they fired me because I said something, because I wouldn't shut up. I wasn't going to shut up because you kept writing me up. Why would I be quiet and you keep writing me up? I didn't do nothing. I was there for 8 years, and they had no reason to write me up. But then he gonna allow him, Leonard Bertrand over there, sitting over there with a small look on his face. He was part of it, and Mike Doggett, Jerome Doggett, sitting up here telling me before I came to the city, be careful, they racist. I didn't see it. All of a sudden, he the one that helped get me fired, Sambo. He's a Sambo, sitting up here, Uncle Tom, house Negro. That's what he is. I don't care if he do here. You gonna sit up here and help them get me fired and I did nothing? I wasn't gonna say anything about them tires till they kept writing me up. And you not even addressing it. You never got back with me or nothing. He helped them. He told me to shut up. Mr. Rickman.
Thank you for your comments.
Bob Carrier, 825 Clinton River Drive, apartment 3A. I don't know what I have to do, but I live right across the street from Shady Side Park, and whoever put in the splash park, I'd like to commend them. Should almost build a statue of them out there. It's really transformed the neighborhood, brought people together. You know, everybody congregates out there now. They're parking their cars out on the lawn. There's really nowhere for them to sit down or have fun. I thought, what would I have to do if we could maybe put a pavilion up in the front and more picnic tables, and maybe move one of the porta-johns up by the splash park as well? I don't know exactly. I don't know how all this works, but I thought, I think it would work. I really do. I mean, the park is getting more and more full. I mean, on Memorial Day, it was full. They had their own bounce house out there. So I'm like, hey, it's good. I told them the other day, they had a birthday party out in front of the splash park. I said, there's a city council meeting on Monday. Why don't you come? I figured more people, more support would help me, plead my case. And I just think it would work. I don't know what the funding is. I don't know how budgets work. I don't know if I need to get signatures or what I have to do, but I just think it would be beneficial to the neighborhood and to the city, to give people this thing.
If you leave your phone number with us before you leave.
Mine?
Yeah, we'll contact you and talk to you about it.
Sounds great. Thank you
you.
so much for your time.
Thanks, Bob. Is there anyone else who would like to address the commission at this time? Thanks, Carl.
How's everybody tonight, this evening? I know you might have noticed this shirt.
Wait. Give your full name and your residential
My
address.
name is William H. Thompson. I reside at 25 Lindsay Drive in Mount Clemens.
Thank you.
My issue is, I'm an advocate for my son, Dwayne. I'd like to know, my son was the first in the history of Mount Clemens And we're not talking black, white. I just want to know, will his name be on the records? I'm his advocate. I want to make sure that out of all of his endeavors that he went through in order to qualify to do this job, will his name be inscribed in the records? Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to address the commission at this time?
Hello. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm Janet John. I'm with Moms Demand Action of Macomb. And I'm here at the invitation of Spencer.
Jan, can you give us your residential
Oh,
address for
I'm
the
sorry. I'm
record?
from Clinton Township. 36278
Perfect.
Tall Oak Drive in Clinton Township.
Thank you. Sorry. That's good. Okay, go ahead.
So I didn't know if you passed the resolution on Gun Violence Day already before.
It's on the,
It's on your agenda? Okay, okay. Yeah, that's why I'm here today for, we're celebrating Wear Orange all the month of June, promoting gun violence awareness. We're also promoting safe homes, safe schools, which is the new law that's required by the state that schools have to send secure, safe storage information home. And we have various information, help for people with gun violence situations. And I have some of that to drop off. And with Spencer, we're gonna have a couple events, gun lot giveaways in Mount Clemens, which you may already know of. And we just are here to support the community. We really wanna get involved with the community and make a difference any way we can. So thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
thank you. Can you come up to the microphone?
I just wanted to say that I live in Mount Clemens. Connie Teschler, 141 Ludwig Street,
Thank you.
and I agree with everything Janet said.
Thank you, Connie.
My name is Abe Jenkins. I live at 450 Clinton River Drive. I don't think so.
Not just hard for me to hear.
Well, they're hearing it on the camera for the TV is why it's just not projecting through a speaker for here. Is it, Robbie, can you get that to, I don't know if it's just not on.
Might want
Test,
to ask
test.
them to move over too in their discussion out
Yeah.
there, because that's,
Yeah. Hey, Carl, can we bug you guys can you guys move over? It's okay, you're fine. Okay, sorry, Mr. Jenkins.
Okay, yeah, I was here last meeting. And the new thing I want to ask everybody is that school over to the MISD, is it supposed to open next fall or what?
Well, we're not in charge of the schools.
Oh, you're not? Okay, and the other two things I want to know, did anybody think about that deer population that we got?
Okay. We'll have the city manager get a hold of you. Again, will you leave your phone number so that we can
Okay.
have them talk to you about it.
And
okay?
one other thing is, I lost the chain of thought now.
It's okay. It happens to the best of us.
Oh, yes, about the shady side, about the park. The last time I was about here, okay, it's a nice park, and I wonder why we don't have bathrooms or running water down there. It's a park. What if somebody wanted to have a family reunion?
Okay. All right.
Porta potties ain't gonna do it. They used to have bathrooms and running water.
Okay. We don't when people come to the microphone, we don't usually answer
Right,
the
I
questions.
don't
You'll have
that
to,
last time.
we'll ask it the next one, but if you leave us your contact number, we will get back to you before the next meeting too, so.
Who do I leave the number with?
Here, Carl, you can, yeah. Thank you. All right. Is there anyone else who would like to address the commission at this time? All right. Hearing none, we will move on. to approval administrative responses to issues or questions raised during previous meetings. I don't see anything. So we will move to approval of minutes. Do we have a motion?
Move to approve the minutes as presented.
Okay.
Support,
Kathy, did you get?
either
I
or.
have Commissioner Rick.
Okay.
It's in my ear.
Okay.
Not gonna fight him for it.
All right. Does anybody have any questions or comments about the minutes? Okay, seeing none, call the roll, please.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Fournier,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
McGarity,
Yes.
Rick.
Yes.
Yor. Yes. Calhoun.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to general business. 9A, resolution declaring first Friday in June as National Gun Violence Awareness Day in the city of Mount Clemens.
Move to approve the National Gun Violence Awareness Day resolution as presented.
Support.
Mr. Shipman?
Every day, more than 300 people are directly impacted by gun violence in the United States. Gun Violence Awareness Month was created to draw attention to this tragic reality and demand life-saving change. Hadia Pendleton was 15 years old when she was shot and killed in Chicago in 2013. Just 1 week earlier, Hadia had performed with her high school majorette squad at President Obama's second inaugural parade. In response to her death, Hadia's friends asked others to wear orange to raise awareness about gun violence. Gun violence prevention advocates and organizations nationwide have taken up the color orange as the color of gun violence awareness, and the first Friday in June is now considered National Gun Violence Awareness Day.
All right, does anybody have any questions or comments about the resolution? I can read it if you want me to go ahead and.
It's up to you. It's a
Okay.
long one, but yeah.
Well, I can, yeah, all right. Whereas every day in the United States, approximately 125 individuals are killed by gun violence and more than 260 are shot and wounded, resulting in an annual average of over 19,000 gun homicides. And whereas individuals in the United States are 26 times more likely to die by gun homicide than those in other high-income nations. And whereas in the state of Michigan, approximately 1,421 individuals die annually due to gun violence, with a rate of 14.2 deaths per 100,000 residents, making Michigan the state with the 27th highest rate of gun deaths nationwide, and resulting in a financial burden of $16.8 billion each year, of which $380.5 million is paid by taxpayers. And whereas public safety is a fundamental responsibility of government and the prevention of gun violence is essential to ensuring the health and security of our communities, and whereas support for the Second Amendment right of law-abiding citizens is consistent with efforts to keep firearms away from those who pose a danger to themselves or others, and whereas gun violence prevention remains a critical issue impacting communities across the nation, and whereas in June 2013, Hadia Pendleton, age 15, was tragically killed by gunfire, and on June 6, 2025, which would have been her 28th birthday. Communities across the country will observe National Gun Violence Awareness Day, and whereas Hadia's friends launched the Wear Orange campaign in her memory, choosing the color orange to symbolize the value of human life and to call attention to the need to reduce gun violence, and whereas all members of the public are encouraged to participate in this effort by wearing orange on the first Friday in June to raise awareness and demonstrate support for survivors, victims, and policies to reduce gun violence, and whereas the City of Mount Clemens recognizes the importance of community efforts to address and prevent gun violence and supports initiatives that honor the lives lost while promoting a culture of safety and responsibility. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Commission of the City of Mount Clemens, Michigan, does hereby declare the first Friday in June of each as National Gun Violence Awareness Day in Mount Clemens, and encourages all residents to participate in observances and activities aimed at raising awareness, preventing gun violence, and honoring the lives affected by the crisis. Okay, anybody else? Questions, comments?
Well, I just want to thank those who are with Moms Demand Action for coming and for your hard work, especially Janet, and thank you for coming, Connie, as well. We'll be having a gun lock giveaway, which I'll talk about in my commissioner comments, but that'll be next weekend, and so those are free, but we just, it's so important in our community and communities across the state and the country that gun violence prevention is highlighted. And not just violence prevention, but accidents as well. And so that's what the gun lot giveaway is about. But this is a public safety issue. We want to make sure that here in our community, we're ahead of it, we're bringing attention to it. So thank you for bringing it to our attention. And I'm glad that we can celebrate this every year.
Very good. Okay, anybody else? All right, call the roll, please.
Fournier,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
McGarity,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Yor. Yes. Calhoun,
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Okay, moving to 9B, amendment to ordinance 20.200 to allow the establishment of residential parking zone. I'll entertain a motion.
Move to amend ordinance 20.200 of the city of Mount Clemens to amend the city's parking ordinance to further define and clarify definitions and prohibitions and provide for restricted residential parking or permit parking zones in the city and to repeal any and all ordinances in conflict therewith.
Support.
Mr. Shipman.
Attached for your review, consideration, and adoption is a proposed amendment to City Ordinance 20.200. This ordinance amendment authorizes the City Council to designate by resolution an area or areas of the city as a restricted residential parking permit zone. This ordinance amendment proposes the designation of such zones in order to reduce and alleviate parking congestion and hazardous conditions resulting from the use of streets within residential areas for the parking of vehicles by non-residents. The ordinance prohibits the parking of vehicles in such zones without a residential parking permit and prescribes the penalties for fraudulently obtaining any residential parking permit or parking sticker issued by the city as a misdemeanor. The City Commission is authorized to establish criteria to evaluate areas for which such residential permit parking zone shall be created and to set the fees for such permits by resolution. The ordinance includes a repealer clause to eliminate any existing ordinances or provisions that conflict with the proposed changes. A severability clause is included to preserve the validity of the ordinance if any portion is determined to be unenforceable or invalid. This ordinance amendment was drafted and approved by the city attorney.
All right, who has questions?
Well, my question was already answered in terms of Exhibit A that's missing out of the ordinance. Excuse me. But I think it's good for the public to know that this is step one. And you might want to explain that after we get through with this, there'll be a step two.
Yeah, so this ordinance allows us to create these zones. So once this is active, which will take the first reading today, we'll have a second reading at the next meeting. It's got to be posted, and then there'll be a 10-day period, then it becomes effective, after which then we will create by resolution the parking zone as well as the fees.
So there will be a lot more discussion.
There will be a lot more discussion, I'm sure.
That was, I had a bunch of questions here, but I figured that's going to be part of when we do the exhibit. I mean, we're just voting to amend,
To
to
make
put
it,
this in here, but
Yes.
then we're going to go further afterwards, correct?
Correct. I mean, we can probably start that discussion at some point because we already have the resolutions and exhibits drafted. So that's a good starting point, I think, for all of us to have that discussion
Okay,
at a work session.
okay, I'll hold my questions till then.
Okay.
yeah, so this action just makes it possible to have residential zones, to have the structure of what we're hoping for, because currently our ordinances don't allow for that. So,
I'm glad to see
Step
this. It's a start, right, step
Right.
one,
yeah.
long
Okay.
time coming.
Does anybody have any other questions about it? Go ahead.
I'm really happy to see this. It's a good example of a concern from the community coming up, and I appreciate city attorney, city manager, and the mayor for working on this, and I'm excited to see us see it through.
All right. Call the
Just-
roll. Oh, go ahead.
Just so the just so the residents can understand what's happening now, it is because of residents' concerns and comments at the city commission's meeting, given respectfully to the board, to the commission, to the mayor, to the city manager and the attorney with challenges that we've had with parking in residential areas. And so now it begins to move. We wouldn't be able to work on anything if you didn't bring it up to the attention, again, respectfully. But as stated, so we all understand, it doesn't happen overnight. It is in process, step one, and it's a good thing. It is 20 years coming, it's a good thing.
I think we need to call it the Miss Ruthie. Persistence is finally, you know.
Yes, yes.
All right.
Good job.
Okay,
The nuts and bolts will tell us.
yeah, exactly. All right, anybody else? Okay.
Just,
Oh, yes.
Rob, there's just a spelling error I'd like to.
No, thank you. Work.
It's,
What page?
number 4,
Section 4?
number 4, sheriff, just spell.
Should we?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, Sheree.
damn.
I didn't want to bring it up here, but
Feel this
One and every problem.
it just shows I read it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Give me some,
That's the French pronunciation.
We'll let them know.
That's good.
All right, okay, now, anybody else? All right, call the roll, please.
Crop,
Yes.
McGarity,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Yor, Calhoun,
Yes.
Dempsey. Yes. Fournier.
Yes.
Okay, we move to 9C, approved placement of special assessments for delinquent utility and general billings on the tax roll.
What you just said. Move to approve the special assessment rolls 25-02 and 25-03 for delinquent billings and placement on the city's summer tax roll for 2025.
All right.
I think there was a support.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sounded like it to me.
Absolutely, yeah, support.
Thank you. Mr. Shipman.
Each year, it is necessary to place delinquent bills on special assessment rolls for collection. Attached for your review are delinquent utility bills and delinquent general bills broken down as follows. Special assessment roll 25-02 for delinquent utility bills in the amount of $24,528.82, and special assessment roll 25-03 for delinquent general bills in the total amount of $127,153.62. Delinquent general bill types are broken down as follows. Delinquent sidewalk in the amount of $31,118. Delinquent weed cutting in the amount of $23,147.32. Delinquent downtown maintenance in the amount of $22,187.30. Delinquent vacant registrations in the amount of $20,730. Delinquent rental registrations in the amount of $13,550. And delinquent enforcements in the amount of $16,421. Please note that a 15% transfer fee will apply to all delinquent billings except for sidewalk invoices.
Okay. Questions, comments?
Do these numbers already include that 15%?
No.
That's a lot.
Anyone else?
I think this, the reason it's good. We've been behind a little bit. Most cities, that is the route that they go, and it makes landlords more aware. Unfortunately, the only side thing that I see that's not good is they end up with an eviction because once it goes to property taxes, agencies can't utilize funding to pay. It just doesn't happen. And so with this, again, and I won't say it at the end, there is water bill assistance in the city of Mount Clemens. So it doesn't have to get bad. And if you're over income, there are ways and resources to get these bills paid. So it would bother me to see people in our neighborhoods to lose their property because they let a water bill go to the property taxes. That's a sad sight to see. But we have resources for our city. We just need to utilize them.
And so residents should call the
Residents, thank you,
treasurer's
Madam
office,
Mayor.
right?
Yes.
Or Macomb Community Action.
Yes, and I think it's now, people are telling me it's even on the website or when they come in. The water department does an excellent job at referring people to Macomb Community Action Center for water bill assistance. So, yeah, this is good.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to chime in?
It's a lot of money.
A lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
All right, call the roll, please.
McGarity,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
York,
Yes.
Calhoun,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Fournier,
Yes.
Crop.
Yes. Okay. Moving to 9D, budget resolution.
I move to approve the annual budget and for fiscal year 2025 through 2026 General Appropriations Act resolution as presented.
Support.
Okay, Mr. Shipman?
A work session to discuss the proposed fiscal year 2025-26 budget was held on May 8, 2025. A notice of public hearing on the proposed budget and millage rates was published in the Macomb Daily newspaper on May 12, 2025, and a public hearing on the proposed budget and millages was held on May 19, 2025. Administration is requesting the Commission approve City of Mount Clemens annual budget and General Appropriations Act for fiscal year 2025-26.
All right, anybody have any questions or comments?
I'd like to thank the city manager and staff for putting it together, also for kind of putting together that bit that I've been asking for. I appreciate that. I already knew what the answer was gonna be, but having some of the details laid out was helpful for me. I appreciate that.
Is there anybody else with questions or comments? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Rick,
Yes.
York,
Yes.
Calhoun,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Fournier,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
McGarity.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes. We'll go to 9E, purchases and payments.
Move to approve purchases and payments, a purchase and payment as presented.
Support.
Okay, there's not really a,
No, thank you for adding the recommendation to waive the competitive bid process notice. One other question though.
okay?
It's already, so why is there there's a budget amendment that needs to be made for this purchase?
I think the problem is they don't know how much they're gonna use.
Okay,
You
so
know,
we
so-
don't know. It could be no amendment,
Could be
right?
no
But
amendment, yeah.
this is for 25, 26, right?
Yeah, so, and that's, purchasing puts that in, and I think on those unknown amounts, that she just puts that in there
I
as a,
see.
kind of like, hey, this may have to happen.
Anybody else? Call the roll, please.
York,
Yes.
Calhoun,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Fournier,
Yes,
Crop,
Yes.
McGarity,
Yes.
Rick.
Yes.
Moving to consent agenda.
Move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
support.
Call the roll, please.
Calhoun,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Fournier,
Yes,
Crop,
Yes.
McGarity,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
York.
Yes.
Okay, city managers report, Mr. Shipman.
The Planning Commission is meeting Tuesday, June 3rd at 7 PM to review a site plan for a new 3,721 square foot mineral bathhouse on a vacant Park Street property east of Park Place Towers, and to hear a special land use request from McRest to allow for a men's homeless shelter in a vacant building at 205 South Main Street that was a former insurance office. The reconstruction of Grand Avenue has begun and is expected to be complete, weather permitting, by the end of October. Concrete and asphalt patchwork on the local streets is scheduled to begin within the next 2 weeks. Please drive safely through the construction areas. And the spring sidewalk program in District 1 is nearly completed. Mount Clemens Recreation Department invites you to take advantage of this beautiful weather and enjoy our approximately 124 acres of parks. And don't miss out on summer fun. Summer Day Camp is almost full. Sign up today. The next election in Mount Clemens is the city election on Tuesday, November 4th, 2025, for the offices of mayor and city commission. Candidate materials are available in the city clerk's office for potential candidates. The last day to file for office and submit completed candidate materials to the city clerk's office is Tuesday, July 22nd, 2025 by 4 p.m. Mount Clemens has applied for a SEMCOG Planning Assistance Grant for the North and South Main Street project in the amount of $45,000. The grant requires an 18.15% matching funds. Our community events, we have the Uptown Friday Night Concerts, Friday, June 6th from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., featuring Soul Commission with Kathleen Murray. It's on the main stage on North Walnut Street. The Bud Light Classic Car Show, registration night and cruise will be Friday, June 6th from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. on North Main Street by the Clock Tower. And Bud Light Classic Car Show and Cruise, Saturday, June 7th from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. with live entertainment on the main stage featuring Creedence CCR Tribute Band, the North Main Street between Cass Avenue and Market Street. And Uptown Friday Night Concert on Friday, June 13th from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. featuring Dave Hamilton Band, Motown, and more. North Main Stage on North Walnut Street. For information on any events, call 586-469-4168. And coming. Oh, the third annual Urban Street Fair, Saturday, June 14th from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Arts, crafts, fashion show, food trucks, and music, main stage on Main Street. And Natural Health and Wellness Fair, Saturday, June 14th from noon to 4 p.m. at 115 South Main Street. For more information on that event, call 586-468-4539.
Okay, does anybody have any questions or comments for Mr. Shipman? Okay, we'll move on to the second opportunity that we allow the public to address the commission. Again, we ask that you come to the microphone, you give us your full name, your residential address, and you abide by our 2-minute rule.
Ruthie Stevenson, 69 Bain Street. I might be missing something here, but I don't think so. The amendment is to allow the establishment of residential parking zone. This adheres to basically the post office and the River Acres community. Miss Loretta Brownlee's funeral was today. On both of I live on Bain, coming almost to Robertson, there were cars parked. There were post office parking. Going down Clinton River Drive to Meadle and around the corner, post office parking. To go across Bain to where the apartments are, post office parking. There was a difficult time for people to park to attend Miss Loretta's funeral. They had to park on the grass almost near the river and everywhere else. And to allow this, even with the whatever you're going to use, amendments or whatever, and putting up signs on one side of the street, all the parking is only post office. Only 3 cars in my community on Bain Street are community cars that park on the street. And it's getting to be worse and worse. I don't know whether this is going to help, and I don't think so, because we still cannot utilize. There was a young man that had his prom going party today, this evening, and people could not park because post office people, some of them were leaving, and people were trying to find parking spaces. It's not right. We cannot. This is a neighborhood, not a all-day postal parking lot.
Thank you.
Or 316 Lakeshore Drive, Sterling Heights. I was having a hard time hearing, so I don't know if on the agenda is the appointment to boards and commissions. And I don't know if you guys did that because I was having trouble hearing.
We did. It passed.
Thank you,
You're
I
all set.
appreciate it.
Kathy's the interim director of the library. So.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Thank you for asking, Kathy. Is there anyone else who would like to address the commission at this time? Okay, seeing none, we will move to commissioner comments, and we will start with Commissioner Yor.
Thank you. Thank you to all of you who came out and spent your evening with us tonight. We always appreciate when you bring us information that is helpful, and hoping that those of you who left your phone number and left your information, that we can help get to a resolution for some of the stuff. So thank you. It's the 1st of June, so happy summer, and looks like there's a lot of exciting events coming up in downtown Mount Clemens, and I just encourage everybody to get out there and enjoy it. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner McGarity.
I just wanted the public to know that on Juneteenth, which is June 19th, at the Mount Clemens Cairns Community Center at 11 a.m., we will be celebrating Juneteenth, and all are welcome to attend. I'm sure Commissioner Rick will discuss Memorial Day. That was my first time going, and I went because I could hear the sidebar of how good it was when some of the other commissioners went. And it was, Memorial Day is to remember the veterans that served. Memorizing them. That's the right word. It can't even come out right.
Memorializing.
But it was very, very, very moving. Very moving. And so I felt good to be there. I was very, very proud of our commissioner. Did not move throughout the entire service. It was just so much respect. You could just feel it. And so I felt good going, and if I live, I don't want to miss another one, at least one, because I know they do a lot of them. It just reminds you what you're there for. Downtown, of course, on Facebook, downtown being torn up, but it's going to be beautiful when it gets finished. I encourage us all to still support it. So our ladies from our church went to the Mount Clemens Bistro. We had about $1,000 with tips and everything of spending in that restaurant. But our downtown restaurants are suffering just a little bit because they feel that there's no place to park. But that whole big Roscott parking lot, the big parking lot, it's open. The sidewalks are open for you to go and visit some of the restaurants. So I want to charge everyone here to go twice in a week and support the downtown restaurants or the businesses that are down there. Our men from our church ended up going as well. And so is National Council of Negro Women is going to have our final meeting downtown. I do have a question with one of the comments from one of the residents. I'm just curious, what will be the cost when you bring up the answer regarding the restrooms in Shadeside? What would be the cost to have a restroom or some wire? That's just something I would want to know. I am in the midst of forming the language for Loretta Brownlee, who we laid to rest on today. It was a wonderful homegoing service. Fred Miller was there. He spoke. And your Senator Debbie Stabenow had a conversation with her, and it teared her when she found out that she passed. And they all talked the same conversation. And I'm like, I wonder, will that be our conversation? She talked about how they remember when Mr. Levin and Mr. Bonner, they all would talk and see what they could do for the community to just get the kids off the street and so forth and so on. And they did it, but they said it wasn't, this is from his words, it was none of them, it was Miss Loretta with that push. And they formed a friendship because they looked for what was best for the residents in Mount Clemens, for the families and for the youth. And so they charged us to continue that legacy for what she laid out. And she did a lot of things. And I'm so glad the library pulled some materials that we could look at and see. And her child, was my time up? Her daughter was even surprised at some of the things because, you know, Loretta was very humble. She didn't brag about what she did. So as that come with the support of the commission, the mayor, and the city manager, that will come down the line hopefully soon. But I do want to encourage everyone to come to Juneteenth because that day is going to be set for, we have history in our city. We don't have Black history classes and books anymore in our schools. Juneteenth was almost going to be taken away. So if we don't share our history, what happens? This is for all races. What are they going to say about us 20 years from now? What are they going to say about you? What did you do that made an impact? And so we will get to hear wonderful stories, facts from people like Ruthie Stevenson, Nelson Jackson, Martha Sims, and so many others. And we won't hold you long. It starts at 11. You'll be out of there like 1 o'clock. So I just wanted to encourage you all to support that. Thank you for my 2 minutes.
Thank you. Commissioner Fournier.
Yes, my condolences to the family of Loretta Brownlee. Truly a great woman, as we've just heard. I want to also thank the ladies for the gun violence awareness day and month. And it is so important, and it's so frustrating to hear, especially when a child is shot accidentally or other. It's just heartbreaking. So thank you for bringing to our attention, and thank you, Commissioner Calhoun, also for bringing that up. We appreciate it. I just want to give everyone a heads up that the Super Sad Art Day at the Anton Arts Center is coming on June 14th. It's a Saturday, obviously, and it's free, and it's a lot of fun for all the kids. There's all kinds of activities for them to do and entertainment, and it's just a really, really great day. So I hope to see you all there. And that is all I have right now. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Commissioner Rick?
Thank you. First, on the Memorial Day ceremony, thank you, Commissioner, for attending. I know there's a lot of Memorial Day ceremonies on Sunday and Monday. For the local one here, it's always the Sunday before at 11 o'clock at Clinton Grove Cemetery. I'd like to specifically thank the AMVETS Post for taking the lead on it this year. The various veteran service organizations take turns on who has the lead. And I'd like to thank the post commander for his words. They were very good. I also would like to extend my condolences to Loretta Brownlee's family. It's a big loss to the community. I'd also like to thank everyone for continuing to bring their concerns to us. And just remind you, as I've said before, as Commissioner McGarity alluded to as well, the ship of state turns slowly. It takes time. Just because you're not seeing an answer now, or you're seeing what looks like it's not a full answer yet, there's a whole team of people trying to make things better here. So keep bringing us your issues. Bring them here. Send us an email. Send us a letter. Give us a call. Use the report and issue link, which is at the bottom of the webpage, which we discussed briefly at the previous work session. That's what the chuckle's about. But please keep talking, because that's how we make it better. I'd like to thank Victoria for continuing to serve on the Mount Clemens Public Library Board of Trustees. A lot of these boards and committees, it's a great way to help serve the community and do something impactful. It may not be dramatic, it may not be something that sticks out, but it's the kind of thing that makes this city better. And if you're interested in doing something like that, you can call the city at 586-469-6800 or go to our website and go to boards, committees, and commissions, or mountclemens.gov/boards for more information. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Calhoun.
Well, I want to start by offering my condolences as well to the family of Loretta Brownlee. I wish I'd had the opportunity to meet her, but since I moved here and got involved in politics, I heard about her and the work she did, and we can see it. And so it is quite a legacy that she's left behind. On the topic of gun violence prevention and safety, I'm hosting a gun lock giveaway at the Carnes Community Center on Saturday, June 7th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and at the Community Center on Groesbeck on Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. So I hope to see you there. I'll bring donuts or snacks or something. So just come in and say hi and pick up a gun lock for you or someone else who you know might need one. But it's just a good chance for us to get together. There'll be resources on mental health, on safety, and so it'll be a good time for all. I want to thank the library, and I'm glad our library director is here. And on social media, there have been some interesting comments about the library. And I just want to say that we're so proud of the programming that the library puts on. It's a place where everyone can go, and that's what the library is for. And so I'm thankful to the library board, to the staff, to the director for all the hard work you do, and please keep it up. As the mayor mentioned in her proclamation, this is LGBTQ plus Pride Month, and so it's a month where this is also a month that's for everyone. If almost everyone knows someone in their life who is a member of the community. You might be related to them, they might be a friend, they might be someone who you work with, and especially now, it is Pride started off as a protest. It didn't start as a party, it was a protest. People got together because they were being harassed and they stood up. And that's still happening today. And there are a lot of movements that are still going on where it started off as a protest and you keep that flame going. And so while there is time for everyone to celebrate, and that's what a lot of people see, there is still a fight going on. And so I want to encourage everyone to pay attention to that, to support your friends in the community, do what you can to help, and to be more respecting and tolerant of other people. Maybe you don't understand, or maybe it's just not something you're very interested in, and that's okay. But you can still be respectful. And so I want to pass that along. But June is a great month for celebrating that. And like you mentioned, it's summer, so that's nice too. Today, yeah.
Other days it's 50.
Yeah, I bought some shorts for the first time in a very long time. I'm ready. Let's see here. Last week at McLaren-Macomb Hospital, the nurses went out picketing. They're not on strike, but they went out picketing because for a very long time, they've not been offered a fair contract. And so one thing that they said really stuck with me. If you see nurses outside of the hospital holding signs, something's wrong inside. And so I just want to draw attention to that. We couldn't live without them. And so I really encourage the folks at McLaren-Macomb to do the right thing and to give them a fair contract. As a resident of this city, it's very important to me that we have access to good health care and that our nurses aren't overworked or are dealing with several patients at a time, more than they can handle. Nurses are tough, but we all have limits. So I just want to bring attention to that. They've come and they've spoken before us, and many of them are great members of our community who've contributed quite a bit. So just want to bring attention to that as well. But enjoy your week, enjoy the nice weather, and that's all.
Thank you.
Being second to last, although the mayor gets to go last. Everything that everybody said, ditto for me. I'm glad to be back. I did have a nice taste of summer for a whole month while you guys froze. So
Rub it in.
I will. No, I don't. Mr. Thompson, your son's name? Dwayne. Well, I know, Dwayne. We know Dwayne, and his name is here with us, and we know him. So you don't have to worry about us not remembering.
Well, I think he'll be
Okay.
glad to hear that.
It was a very lovely service today for Loretta. I had the opportunity to work with her many years on many things. And one thing was Loretta was persistent, and she always made us accountable. So the service was wonderful, and the speeches were great. The remembrance of the person that she was. Fred Miller did an excellent job, I thought. They all did. So did you, by the way, Teresa. You're very good. So that's one name that will never be forgotten also in this city. And if you're going to the Arts Center on Saturday, stop over to the Crocker House. We have garage sale going. So
That's this Saturday though, right?
yes,
Yes. That's
yes.
June
Oh, yours is
7th,
not till
June 14th.
Oh, June 14th. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well,
June
anyway,
7th.
the Crocker House is having a yard sale for Friday and Saturday, if I remember correctly. And there's lots of great stuff. So stop by and see us. And all the proceeds go to supporting and maintaining the Crocker House, which is a nonprofit. And we get no funding from the state whatsoever. So we rely on the community to help us out. And that's, with that, it's all yours, Mayor.
Thank you. I too, of course, I had the pleasure of meeting Miss Loretta one time, and it was at the center, and we were able to bring her to the center to reunite her with Congressman Bonnier since we reopened the center, and that was I think it was a good moment for both of them because the center has been so up and down, so for them to see it being used and having a program again and really having the support of the city was a good thing for both of them. And I'm glad I was a part of that. This time of year, with especially the resolution that we brought up today, the proclamation for Pride Month, seems to incite some people to say some nasty things about me on Facebook, which, I mean, when you're the leader of the city, that's pretty typical, right? You kind of paint a target on your back when you become the mayor that you get those things, and that's okay. I mean, it's not okay. It's not nice, but it's okay. But with Pride Month, as long as I'm the mayor of the city, I just will not stand for any member of our community to not be welcomed and not be a part of our community, not feel a part of our community. And so you can continue to throw insults my way. You can continue to throw whatever you want. But as long as I'm the mayor, I will make sure that we continue to recognize people who are marginalized. I saw a couple of memes that I thought were really on point, and they definitely, gay pride was not born of a need to celebrate being gay, but our right to exist without persecution. So instead of wondering why there isn't a straight pride movement, be thankful you don't need one. And also, pride is important because someone tonight still believes they're better off dead than being themselves. And so I will always support it. And your comments and your hateful rhetoric won't change that. One of the things that was challenged at Miss Loretta's funeral was, what do we do, right? Like, what impact are we making? And today, this week, I noticed in our fan newsletter that came, it said that the U.S. drug overdose deaths dropped sharply in 2024, the largest one-year decline ever recorded. And it said, according to data from the Centers of Disease Control, U.S. drug overdose deaths dropped by 30,000 in 2024, the largest one-year decline ever recorded, falling to an estimated 80,000. That's down 27% from 110,000 to 2003. While the drop is a hopeful sign, overdose deaths remain higher than pre-pandemic levels and continue to be the leading cause of deaths for adults ages 18 to 44. Experts credit wider Narcan, right? Let's go. Narcan access, expanded treatment options, and opioid settlement funds as key contributors to the decline. Still, advocates warn that progress could reverse if funding is cut or focus shifts away from proven public health strategies. And so I want to commend our commission because we have said we'll use our opioid funds to help Van get treatment and get resources to people who are addicts and get to help this situation. There's many communities who are sitting on their opioid funds and they get a lot more funds than we do, so they're still trying to decide what to do with them. But our commission has acted, and I'm proud that I think we're part of that. I have a coffee talk June 10th at 9:30 a.m. This month at John Family Grill. So if you want to know what's happening in the city, or you want to discuss why your park doesn't have bathrooms or all those things, Coffee Talks is a great way to come and do that. It's a real casual way, and we like to answer questions. It's not real high pressure, so come and join me. You know, I'm also proud of our commission. I know a lot of times we are faced with questions and problems of the city that are not easy fixes. The parking being one of them. Not an easy fix because, you know, there are lots of hurdles in the way, but I'm proud that we're not just saying there's nothing we can do. Well, this commission is not a commission that has ever just thrown their hands up and said, sorry, nothing we can do. So I'm proud of that, and I thank all of you for being a part of that. One last thing is this time of year is the, of course, end of school year. So we're going to have kids who are going to come to recreation, but we also have the class of 2025. So, of course, Mount Clemens, I want to congratulate all of our graduates who live in the city, go to our schools, or don't go to our schools. I want to congratulate all of them. And, of course, I'm a proud mom of a class of 2025 graduate. So I want to say good job, Jack. So, and with that, I will entertain a motion to go into closed session.
Move to go into closed session to consider the purchase of real property.
Okay.
Support.
Any questions or comments? I'll call the roll, please.
Calhoun,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Fournier,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
McGarity,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Yor.
Yes.
Okay, we'll take a 5-minute recess and then go into closed session. All right, we are back from closed session, and I will entertain a motion regarding the purchase agreement.
Move to authorize the purchase agreement for 20 South Main Street for $1,500,000 with a 60-day due diligence period and a $25,000 down payment.
Support.
Any questions or comments regarding the purchase agreement?
You know, my only comment is if I had more time, I would have said $25,000 deposit as opposed to down payment. So could we correct it to say that? That would have been a better choice.
Are you in agreement?
I'm
with
in
the-
agreement.
And who
Call it a
supported?
deposit.
I did.
Okay, and are you,
Yes.
okay. So we're good? Now, does anybody have any questions or comments? All right, hearing none, call the roll, please.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Fournier,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
McGarity,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Yor,
Yes.
Calhoun.
Yes.
All right, and I will, with all of that, entertain a motion for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
Questions, comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, good night, everyone.